Last hour. Oliver Glasner already being discussed in meetings. Thomas Frank told results must improve immediately, or his time at Spurs ends abruptly. Welcome back to Tottenham News Today channel. The pressure surrounding Thomas Frank has now reached a level that Tottenham simply cannot ignore, and the situation has taken a dramatic new twist. Oliver Glasner is being widely tipped as the leading candidate to replace him. What began as whispers in the summer has now accelerated into a full-blown managerial storm in North London. The humiliating defeats to Chelsea and Arsenal have exposed a Tottenham side drifting without identity, without structure, and, increasingly, without belief. Supporters inside the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium have watched their early season optimism evaporate in real time. Frank's side have not only been losing, they've been collapsing. The performances have been disjointed, the tactics unclear, and the energy on the pitch has alarmingly flatlined. Even Frank's post-match interviews have deepened the concern. His explanations are sounding more confused, more disconnected, and more desperate with every passing week. Fans describe a manager who looks overwhelmed, struggling to impose any consistent ideas, and unable to stabilise a team that's slipping further into chaos. Meanwhile, Oliver Glasner's name is now everywhere. The Crystal Palace boss has turned the Eagles into one of the most organised and efficient sides in the Premier League, guiding them to European contention with a brand of football that is disciplined, aggressive, and fearless, everything Spurs are not right now. Palace sit above Tottenham in the table, a fact that has only intensified calls for a change in the Spurs dugout. Glasner was admired internally at Tottenham months ago, with senior figures impressed by his tactical clarity and his ability to transform limited squads into cohesive, dangerous units. Spurs made early inquiries in the summer, but Palace refused to entertain any approach. Now, however, with the situation at Tottenham deteriorating by the week, the Austrian has re-emerged as the clear frontrunner should the club decide to act. Inside the media, the debate is relentless. Many journalists insist that Tottenham are not, at this moment, actively preparing to sack Frank. Reports claim that the board believe the huge number of tactical and personnel changes introduced by him have contributed to instability. Instability they hope will settle with time. The Telegraph even stated that the club want to give Frank as long as possible to make his ideas work. But the reality is painfully obvious. Frank is running out of time. The mood among supporters has shifted dramatically. Anger, frustration, and disbelief are now replacing the early season excitement that greeted his arrival from Brentford. Every match feels like another test he cannot fail, and every poor performance pushes him closer to the edge. Frank knows exactly what's at stake. He knows that despite the reassuring words coming from inside the club, the threshold for patience is becoming dangerously thin. A few more lifeless displays and Tottenham's hierarchy may have no choice but to make the call that many fans are already demanding. And if that happens, the first man they will turn to, the man already being discussed in boardrooms, studios and pubs alike, is Oliver Glasner. The Austrian is admired, available in the right circumstances and proven in English football. For many, he represents the reset button Tottenham desperately need. The coming weeks will define everything. If Frank cannot spark an immediate, visible turnaround, the pressure will turn into action, and Glasner may find himself swapping South London for '17 sooner than anyone expected. Liverpool have taken a dramatic leap forward in the race for Antoine Semenyo, piling immense pressure on Tottenham's hopes of landing the Bournemouth star in January. What began as a cautious bit of scouting has now exploded into a fully fledged pursuit, with Sky Sports Germany journalist Florian Plettenberg revealing that the Merseyside Giants have already held tangible, structured negotiations to trigger the winger's release clause. According to Florian Plettenberg, Liverpool are no longer hovering in the background. They're pushing aggressively to secure Semenyo before the winter market even opens. Their recruitment team is believed to be mapping out the financial framework of a deal, signalling that the Reds see the 25-year-old as a priority addition rather than a luxury target. And that urgency has sent shockwaves through the clubs monitoring him. Crucially, Liverpool are not alone. Plettenberg confirms that other major English clubs are circling, creating a crowded battlefield for a player whose value has skyrocketed after a series of electrifying Premier League displays. While he did not name the competitors, Tottenham supporters already know the threat all too well. Spurs were among the earliest admirers, tracking Semenyo's rise closely and discussing him repeatedly at recruitment level. Just last week, reports suggested that Tottenham were increasingly worried that Liverpool could destabilise their pursuit. Those fears now appear justified. Spurs had earmarked Semenyo as a compelling long-term attacking option, a wide player capable of direct running, explosive transitions and relentless pressing. His versatility across the front line made him ideal for Ange Postecoglou's approach. However, with Liverpool now accelerating negotiations, Tottenham find themselves forced into contingency mode. Team Talk previously revealed that senior figures at Hotspur Way had already begun drawing up a short list of secondary options, should a full-scale bidding war erupt. That moment has arrived sooner than expected. Semenyo's development since joining Bournemouth has been nothing short of remarkable. His ability to carry the ball through pressure, his power in one-on-one duels, and his improving end product have made him one of the most intriguing attacking assets outside the traditional top six. Scouts have been dazzled by his consistency this season, and his release clause, once viewed as reasonable, now looks like an invitation for chaos. For Tottenham, the situation is rapidly becoming uncomfortable. Liverpool's financial strength, their positional need for a dynamic wide forward, and Arne Slot's well-known insistence on high-intensity wingers give them a natural advantage. Spurs can still compete, but they must move decisively and with conviction if they want to keep this race alive. One thing is now certain. Antoine Semenyo has become one of the most sought-after players of the upcoming January window. And with Liverpool already advancing talks, Tottenham find themselves in a fight they can't afford to lose. That's all for today's update. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay up to date with everything Tottenham, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a story. Don't forget to drop a like and share this video with other Spurs fans. Together we can keep growing the Tottenham News Today community. Thanks for watching, and as always, come on you Spurs!